What's up guys, this is Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content. We've got the new season in the ranked matches right now, and I had one game in the last season that I want to show with you. It was not the craziest game of all times, but I just want to show you how well Krizzix works as a support. I think he's pretty stable. You don't see him that often. He's got a really nice mix out of utility for his team. He's got great sustain. And on the other hand, he still packs a punch with his S2 ability. So therefore I want to showcase Krizzix today, and for that reason I came up with a build which looks pretty much like that. You've got the support item, I take the health one, we've got Gilded Greaves, we've got the Aegis in there, we've got Gaia Standard, and we have the Frost Cape, which you can basically choose if you want to, but you can supplement it with something else. For example, you can take Mail of Pain here, you can take Anti-Heal, or whatever you find suitable for the team that you're playing against. Arcana wise, I decided to go with a bigger health pool, therefore we are focusing on health points very much, and around that we do have a little bit ability power, a little bit magic pierce, some movement speed, and a improved cooldown reduction. How are we going to do that? I'm taking 10 times Violate for the offensive potential, because otherwise I just have the feeling that I'm not having any sort of effect on the battle whatsoever. To increase our health, I've taken Benevolence as my second Arcana. That means you've got 10 of these as well. And last but not least, we've got Valence, which is packing up at least over 350 health points, 375 in total if you want to know the exact amount. Enchantment wise, I've decided to go with Nature's Rage to have some additional punch here. Oh my goodness, I just skipped out of that. So we've got River Treater, we've got Nature's Gift to boost our health pool even further, and then I'm taking both Arcane Whisper for the additional talent cooldown reduction, and very important, Sacred Beat. You're not going to use that on many heroes, but I think with Krizzix ult being such a great utility tool for all of your team for either engaging or escaping, I think the 10% cooldown reduction is completely viable. And this is the build I've played. How it performed is going to be the other part of the video, and if you haven't subscribed to Void of Dust Gaming yet, that's your biggest chance. So subscribe to the channel, give a like if you liked the video, give a thumbs down if you didn't like the video, and feel free to put some comments down in the comment section below. Let's go with the gameplay. Alright, take no prisoners, and here we go. And boy, oh boy, what can I tell you about the game? It was pretty horrible. As you can see, we've got Emily as a jungler, we've got Valheim, and we had this little fella in the fox suit, which is the good old Liliana. And take a closer look on what Liliana is doing right now, because this is basically the main thing that all this game will be about. What are you going to do if you have a player who picked a role that you already have in your team composition, which is fine because you can go with, for example, 2 AD carries. One goes into the jungle and the other one goes straight on the duo lane. But what are you going to do if that player is insisting on playing not only a role that has already been picked, but also on a lane that is not designated for him or her? So what would be your plan? There are 2 different options that you have. You keep continuing and sticking to your game plan, which will basically result in playing a lane not at all. For example, in this case, it would have been the solo lane. Or are you going to jump into the breach and play that role that you haven't really been favoring so far, and are you going to do that and play this? What would be your choice? Remember, this was a ranked game, therefore I wanted to win it. Otherwise, it could just be that I don't really care that much about it. But in this case, I wanted to win that stuff because it was good for my win rate and of course for my promotion and positioning stuff. And yeah, as you've seen, we have started with 2 kills, and these 2 kills have been on my account. So I managed to kill not only the crash support here, who was really, really low, but I managed to counter a attack that has been launched by our friend Necroth, and I killed him as well. So good start here. And I'm telling my team I'm going bot. So this is important for me. I think communication is key. Therefore, I wanted to tell my team, look guys, I'm going to cover that. It's not my role. It's not the game plan that I had in my mind. I'm not the person who should do this. This is Liliana's job, and I think she can just defend against the what's her name? The girl with the 2 sword blades. Is it Yena? Yes, it's Yena. She can play against Yena just fine by defending the whole stuff. I mean, the only thing that you need to do is you gotta nuke those minions with your spells, and then you're fine. And you wait until you come into the late game stage, and then you're going to nuke the whole enemy team. Don't get yourself killed. That's like the most important rule if you're playing against a melee-based hero. But in the end, what is Yena about to do against your skills? She has this little stuff where she is throwing her blades and they're sticking to a certain point. The only thing that you need to do is to avoid that. That's the only thing you need to do if you're playing with a ranged centered hero against Yena. It's as easy as that. But Liliana did not only insist on fighting, but she also let herself get killed multiple times, which is pretty bad because it's just putting your team in a much weaker position. Now Yena goes up. I didn't call my team and tell them, guys, look, this is going to be bad because my lane is obviously missing. But on the other hand, I thought that if you are going to roam, it might just be a good idea to check out what's happening during the battlefield. Again, Liliana was killed here. I was close to being killed by this little pesky minion, but I managed to get out alive. Unfortunately, we didn't get Natalia killed. That would have been ace. But as far as we go right now, the game is not looking too bad. We've got 4 kills. The enemy got 6 kills. Unfortunately, those 2 kills are on my account, as I already said. But the game is not lost yet, so there is still plenty of stuff to do. But I don't really know what's going on. Look at Vera. What is she doing right now? Is she going for a save? Is she going to protect the lane? No, she isn't. She's camping somewhere, and now we have to clear that. I mean, everything went fine, but now what is the idea? Double kill. So Liliana and Valheim did not manage to get anything sorted out on the duo lane, which means we are putting ourselves in a weaker and weaker position throughout the game. We did not focus on trying to lose stuff or trying to get stuff in reward and counter them or trade them. And yeah, that was pretty outright demotivational what happened during the first minutes of the game. So 6 minutes played. I know that Yena is up there, and now you guys will see the biggest Yena counter ever. Now we kind of outplayed her because she did not stop in her animation sequence. I don't know what happened. She basically should have just repressed the button, went into the other ability, and she could have cancelled it. So you can, if you go into the S2 state, you can cancel that by pressing S1. It's as easy as that. But I mean, her loss is our gain, and therefore I won't complain too much. Look at the score. 6 kills have been in our team so far. Have been dealt or inflicted or whatever in our team so far. 12 on the enemy, and half of those kills is the little green support. It's going to tell you something about the state of the game and how good we have just positioned ourselves in the upcoming struggle to get the core of the enemies, which is the overall goal. It's not about kills, but right now everything is pointing towards the favor of the enemies. Here comes Crash. I've got Vera coming up. I'm trying to tank as much as possible, and luckily for us, we are able to get it. Now, I don't know why Vera is not following up immediately. Yes, she gets the kill, but now we are putting ourselves in a really bad position, and the outcome is clear. We've lost a tower, and we've lost another mage. So, 8-16, the enemy manages to get their kills doubled by the time, and we can't really keep up with them. Keep an eye on Emily, keep an eye on Vera, keep an eye on Valheim, keep an eye on Liliana was the stuff that I wanted to ping the most. I mean, if you are support, the problem about this is that most of the supports are not in a state where they can carry a whole game. They've got great utility eventually, they've got great sustain, they've got great health bars, but if you take Thane for example, you have to completely rearrange the build and rearrange the enchantments and the arcana to make him work, and then he is still so much weaker than actual warrior counterparts that you will find throughout the game. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what my team was doing. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what they were thinking. I just want to show you guys that these games exist on my server and my account as well. So we're trying to get out here, trying to get out alive, and oh boy, how long we are going to take that chase with the enemies. It was fairly nice. That is something that is going to indicate how how bad my team is positioned. Actually, if your support is second best in gold lead, that's gonna tell you something. You might just put down your mobile phone and do something else, like do homework, go for a walk, or just put the surrender button, press the surrender button a couple of times. And as you can see, the enemy is punishing every single bit. Every single time we make a mistake, they are there, and they make good use of the whole confusing stuff that was going on in our team. So, oh my goodness, Emily, you should not do that. That's not really helpful for anyone. Meanwhile, Crash is so powerful that we are able to get the shutdown here. I mean, that's not Crash, Krizzix. I'm talking about Krizzix. Unfortunately, I am getting killed here because I have not built mana resistance, but at least I'm able to get my team to 2 additional kills. But the enemy has already doubled +1. This is, guys, if you're watching this video and you think like, why is this dude showing us this kind of stuff? It's to show you how based and how good Krizzix is. I think Krizzix is one of the best supporters out there because he has the damage. Most of the other supporters have great utility. They've got the health. They can be super tanky. Like, take for example Mina. Mina is a really good example. Her health bar is huge. It's basically the complete screen of your mobile phone, but she hasn't got the punch. She's got quite a punch since the update, and because she has that sustain, she is building damage over time. But if you take Krizzix for example with his S2, if you are building around that, he is just getting so much better and so much more dangerous with that. So I really enjoy playing Krizzix, and this is the reason why I uploaded this video instead of some other game. You can actually wave clear with him. If you ever played Crash and tried to wave clear, you might just wait for the next game. So we need to be careful about that because this is going to be a huge problem. And now I'm going to group her again into my Fangs, and yeah, there's the Valheim. At least we are making a bit of progress here. I'm going to get into the enemy minions here, and I was trying to do it again, and I think she learned her lesson. So she is able to withstand the stuff that I was throwing at her, but this is going to be no good. Necroth is just way too fast, and I did not pay any attention to the death counter. And look at that, 11 kills on the Necroth. That is insane. I mean, Vera was still doing good. He's champion level, like championship level, or her. I don't know if that was a female or a male player, or maybe some non-binary player. The person playing Vera was actually champion level, but it doesn't help. Like, if you've got a hero who is super mobile and you are not really mobile because you don't have the skills for that, like, I mean, the only thing that she can use to reposition is the Vampire's Kiss stuff, or Demon Kiss, or whatever it's called. And then she has this flicker thing that comes up every 90 or 120 seconds or whatever it is. I don't have the counters in my mind, so shame on me. So now Liliana's even scoring a kill. You won't believe it. It's hilarious. And I can't just do whatever I want. And now I need to go home. Oh, yeah, this is going to be bloodbath. Yeah, here we go. So, I mean, game is basically almost over. At least in my head it was. So I wasn't trying too hard on winning the game at this state, because as you can see, we've got 3 towers left. The enemy's got 7 towers, so more than double the towers. And they've got the kills. They've got a great split pusher with Nekroth. Here we go. This is one of Nekroth's strengths. Great shutdown. She was waiting so patiently that she deserves it. But otherwise, she ruined a tower for this action just to get 1 kill. So that might be questionable if you should really focus on getting 1 single kill in a 20 versus 30 match that much. But in the end, it worked out at least to get 1 kill. And here we go again. Attack the enemy tower. I'm begging my team to actually do something, like get that tower. We need to get that tower. That tower is super important. Now we need to go in and clear it, and we have done it. Great job by Valheim. And look at that. I'm even over leveled. Like I've got more experience than this little Crashed has, and now he's in old state, and you can't do shit against him. This is just, the world is just so unfair, and I'm trying to pull them towards me. Nekroth has been pulled. Now he's dead, which is good. I'm still alive, which is good. And now I've tried to bait them, or at least work as some kind of health pool that the enemy can work with. But if you take it, we've got another team fight. Liliana's basically just telling us, what the F? I'm just out of here. I don't really care about you guys. I'm trying some split pushing stuff that doesn't really work because they're fighting against an over level team. So what you need to do is to put your shit together, fight them on the tower, and try to do something. I mean, what is that? Like, she shoved some minions into the tower, and now she's going to tower defense. Like what? Like this? No, this is not going to happen. And as you can see, this game is close to being over. I don't know why they didn't focus it yet. They could have just done it. And yeah, here we go. That's game. And yes, Void, why are you showing us defeats? As I said, this is all about Krizzix. And I beg you out there, please pay attention to the team composition. Don't be the person to be super arrogant, to be super self-censored. If you are not willing to take a position you are not super comfortable with, but it helps your team to win the game, do it, because it's a team game and we need those different roles, because otherwise it's not going to work. At least 30% tanked, 50% participation. That's more than the other people here, more than the jungler. So this is a really bad result in total, but I'm fine with my 6.5. And yeah, guys, that's that. I hope you had a entertaining evening with that video, and we see each other soon in 2 days when we are going to have some German content again. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.